Hi there, welcome back to my channel. I'm Gerard, Witch of Earth's Curious Goods, and today I thought I would go over on Poppet magic and how to make them and what do you do with them. So if that sounds interesting to you, keep on watching. And without further ado, let's begin. So before we deep dive into Poppets, I just want to start off with when we are referring to Poppets with mainstream media and movies, and especially even now I get the dreaded, voodoo doll, which voodoo is a religion. I'm not gonna even tackle that because I do not practice voodoo. So I'm not gonna speak on something that I am not doing or is not part of my practice. And in some parts of the world, it's a very closed practice and religion. So yeah, so I'm just gonna leave it there. But for the rest of this video, I am only referring to these dollies as Poppets. And Poppets can go into many forms. You can build them with clay and mud and straw and sticks, and there's so many ways to do it. The way that I'm going to show you is just how I make my Poppets and how I've been doing it for many years. So we're going to use corn husks, and that has been used over a century at least, that Poppets have been around, if not longer. But as far as my knowledge goes, that these Poppets have been used all around the world, different walks of life, different practices. And yeah, so I'm going to show you how to make one. So of course, in order to make a Poppet, we're going to need materials. So I'm going to show you how to make it out of corn husks. So we're going to need some corn husks. Okay, you're also going to need something to tie the Poppet together. So I'm going to be using twine. You can make the magic your own. If you don't have twine, then maybe some string, yarn if you have it as well. I've seen some Poppets be made out of yarn. But with what I'm showing you, I'm going to be using twine. It just kind of goes together with the aesthetic that I'm doing. You're going to need some scissors so we can cut the twine. And that's it. 3 materials, super easy, okay? But I'm gonna bring you guys a little closer so you can kind of see the table and my hands. So it's hand puppet time. Okay, so the reason why I love Poppets is you can use them in so many ways. And when you think of a Poppet, a lot of people will think of a Poppet as being something very baneful. I'm gonna show you that it is not just baneful. You can actually use it for other workings. Me in particular, I use it for protection and health and prosperity and all of the good stuff. I say try it out if you guys want to try it out as well. What we're going to do is we're going to take our corn husk, and with the corn husk I have soaked it in water. And the only reason why is when you get your corn husks, they can be very dry or very brittle, so you want it to be malleable or very pliable where you can actually mold it well, and it's easier to tie up. Now if you are just getting, if it's not dried out, you can just get corn and then dry it out. But yeah, I got this online. You can get it from Amazon, you can get from grocery stores. If you just get some corn, get your hands on corn and kind of like take off the husks and keep them, that's even better. So with the corn husks, you're going to need at least 6 of the corn husks, okay? And out of the 6, you're going to take 3 of them like this and you're going to put them together, okay? So that'll leave you with this other 3, and you're going to put that to the side because that's going to come in handy in just a minute. But with this, you're going to take the 3 here, and you're just going to take some twine, and you're just going to tie off this end here, okay? So I'm just going to make a little knot. And right now I've already got my wards up, but as you're tying your knot, you also want to put intention as you're tying the knot. So if this Poppet's going to be for health, you're thinking of health or healing, or if you want it to protect, you're also going to think of protect. If it is for baneful work, then so be it. You can also as you're tying the knots, you're going to be thinking of baneful things. Okay, so now you have your knot. Okay. So now that you have your knot, right, all you're going to do is you're going to open up the actual corn husk. So it's like this, and you're just going to turn it inside out, okay? You're like, well, draw it. So you're just going to take your corn husk here, and you're going to turn it inside out. Okay, so it should look like that. So the inner part, this part right here, is now upside down. So it's like this, okay? So it should look like that. All right, then you're going to take some more twine, and now you're just going to tie off that part right there. Okay, so what we're doing right now is we're creating the head of your poppet, okay? So now I'm going to tie a knot. You want to tie it kind of tight because you want it to take shape of a head. Okay, so it looks like that. Okay. Me, I like to tie at least 2 knots minimum. 3 knots if I have extra space, but this is for demonstration. I do love to do 3. 3 resonates with me. And of course, if this was an actual poppet, if I was doing it for someone, I'm thinking of my intentions, okay? So now you have the base of your poppet, okay? So it should look like that. Here's the head part. But our poppet needs some arms. So that's where the leftover parts come in, okay? So now we're just going to put these all together. More of the corn husk that we had on the side, we're going to use those now. Okay, so it should look like that all together. And you're just going to close them up, okay? So close it up like you're rolling up something, okay? Then you're going to take your base, the one with the head, and you're going to find an opening. So there we go. So we're going to open it up. So here's an opening here. We're going to put it right here in the middle, okay? So we're going to take that we just rolled up. And there we are. We're going to put it all the way up. Okay? So it should look like that. Now we have some arms. Yay! Okay? And we're going to need some more twine, okay? So I'm going to take some twine. Here we are, and we're just going to tie off right under where we put the arms. So here's the arms, and we're just going to tie off right here, okay? Right underneath the arms, and tie a little knot. When you're making your knots though, for me, I like to put all the knots on one side, so this will be the back part, so the knot will be on the back part. All right, we're going to tie it off. Once again, if it's something for health or baneful or prosperity, or thinking of that each time you tie the knot. So it's sort of, if you've done knot magic before, this is knot magic. I love knot magic. But like I said, I am not doing this poppet for anything particular. Probably use it in a spell later on, but yes. So it should look like this, okay? So now, remember the little arms, they're kind of where we rolled it up. I like to give it, I want it to be aesthetically pleasing, so I do cut the arms down. So we're gonna cut that. Okay. There we are. And then you're just going to poof out the bottom part, so this is gonna be her dress. Ta-da! And now we have our poppet. Super, super simple. Okay? So that's how you make it. And as you can tell, if you look closely, all the knots are on one side, but it's very aesthetically pleasing. Now that cutting part is just for my aesthetics. When I'm making poppets, I just kind of want them to look all kind of cute and stuff. So you don't need to cut that part. You could just roll up this part right here and just leave it as is if it looks better to you. But I tend to cut it just to make it look a little more closer to a human figure. And that is the point of poppets as well, is that it is resembling your target or subject, okay, a person. So now let's take this to the next level. What do we do now? We've got our poppet, okay? So for me, especially when using the water to make this very pliable and malleable, I'll put it in holy water if it's something that I'm blessing, or war water if it's somebody that I'm doing baneful workings on. And then of course I'm doing baneful thoughts when it comes to the knots. But for me in particular, these are usually used for protection and wards for my house, and even prosperity. So I'm using holy water, moon water, sun water when I'm making these pliable. And then also I'll redress it again. So I'll sprinkle it with water, holy water and sun water, moon water, and so forth. So especially if it's for prosperity. You can also put charms on your actual poppets. So I'll just show you one of the poppets that is nice and dry. This of course is still wet, so I usually let it dry out as well, because you don't want it to mold over or anything. So to put it in the sun or hang it to dry. But as you can tell, I put a little charm on them. I have these in my store as well, so a lot of my earthy people are already using these poppets, but you can also put a charm to give it a little oomph. So here's a pentacle on this one, to give this poppet a little oomph to it, okay? But just like the movies where you'll see, you know, some evil witch or some evil practitioner putting pins and needles in here, and it's supposed to affect the target. And you can do that, don't get me wrong. So you would put a tag lock inside of the poppet, okay, as you're forming it, or you could stuff it in here. For me, I'll stuff like cinnamon and some cloves, or for me, prosperity. This can also represent you yourself, but for me, I like to use colored, I guess these are tacks. I would take yellow if maybe this is representing me and I'm just not having, I'm having a creative block, or I can't come up with new creations. I will take the poppet, enchant this actual pin here where it's yellow. Yellow represents inspiration, illumination, sun energy, and I'll press this into the head. Okay, so this, I would focus in on my mind being inspired, being illuminated, being blessed, giving myself sun energy, okay? Or maybe it's something where it's now love, and maybe you're doing it on someone, or maybe on somebody. You would use like a red pin. I love red, and color magic is so powerful. So I'd find the heart area, and I would put the pin in there to help maybe unblock love for myself, or give love to someone else. Of course, if it's baneful work, you can put some baneful energy into these and some malice, and then, you know, plug it in, but not really necessary. As I'm plugging in, you're focusing in on that area, the heart, or maybe I'm trying to heal my hand, you know, so maybe you'll use a white pin, and then you'll just pin it in this area here where maybe my hand needs to be healed, maybe it's sore, I'm trying to heal somebody. So poppets come in real handy when it comes to actually connecting to a person. The more stuff that you put in there, I would stuff it in the little side pocket here with their name. You can even write on the poppet their birthday, your birthday, maybe put some hair in it. The more connection, more tag locks that you create, the more that it will represent and connect to your target or subject, or to yourself for that matter. Even maybe it's protecting your house. You're going to put some items from your house, or you know, maybe you're going to put the address of your house on the actual back of the poppet. But poppets have been used in many ways. I even know a few farmers around in my local area. They'll grab corn from their fields. That first few corns, they'll take the husk, let it dry out, and then they'll make a poppet, and they'll usually hang it by their doorway or in the windows to get good harvest for the next year or for the next season. So many uses. I just wanted to just expose you guys to poppets and how to use the poppets, not just for baneful work. And no, this is not a voodoo doll, okay? These are poppets. Darn it. To be honest, I'm not very savvy. The voodoo doll, I don't even know if they even exist, but you know, it's the classic voodoo doll. These are poppets, okay? I have heard these be referred to as like little corn dollies or corn poppets, but there are many different ways to make it. You can make them out of clay and string and cloth. Cloth is very popular. mud, you name it, sticks. But I just wanted to show you how I make mine, and maybe you guys can try it out because I love it. They work wonders. All right, earthy people, so that's my video on poppets. So give it a try. It is wonderful. As always, stay earthy, stay magical, and until next time, love yourself and others. Bye for now.